What does the future hold for the luxury accessories market? Spending on luxury apparel, leather goods, watches, jewelry, and cosmetics reached $390 billion last year, the Wall Street Journal reported earlier this spring. But analysts warn that growth is starting to slow from its post-recession pace. With a global look at the luxury market, we are joined now by Piaget CEO Philippe Léopold-Metzger. Philippe, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Tanya.
So you are obviously optimistic about the luxury goods market. You have new stores opening in Beverly Hills and Miami.
Definitely. I've always been optimistic. I've been working in that industry for the past 33 years, and I've seen such a huge development, and I would say that it's not going to change. The business obviously is very global. There are a lot of new markets today that are developing very, very fast. But I think, as the Asian was really dominating the last 5 to 10 years, great growth. I think maybe sometimes a brand forgot about America. But America today is still one of the biggest markets in the world. And I think today, obviously, a matter of great interest to all the luxury brands.
Absolutely. And how do shoppers in the U.S., luxury shoppers in the U.S., shop differently than elsewhere in the world?
It's a difficult question. First, as a brand, I must say we try to think global. Mm-hmm. When you buy a luxury product, whether a watch or a bag, you don't want the product to be done for your particular market. So I think as a brand, we look what our DNA is, and we tend to do products which basically are global. So the same product will be aimed at the US market as it will be aimed at other markets in the world. Our business is really, when you buy a luxury, you buy a little bit a slice of the country. In other words, for watches, when you buy a Piaget watch, you are going to buy a little bit of Switzerland. And obviously, this is the way we conceive products.
Absolutely. And obviously, you brought up watches. So I'm curious, what do you think of the smartwatch? And do you ever envision a future when the smartwatch and the luxury watch market could combine?
No, but probably I didn't envisage the future with an iPhone either or an iPad. I think it's something that is coming naturally. I think obviously everything you can read in the last few weeks has been on the Apple Watch. I think it's going to be interesting to see, and I'm sure it's going to be a success. I think they will probably sell, we talk about thousands. They are going to talk about millions or tens of millions, and I think the product obviously will be great. A little bit disappointing from what I saw, but we didn't see the product in real. So it's difficult to have a judgment. But I think, if anything, it's not going to be on a brand like us. I think it would have very little impact.
So you don't envision any changes to the way you will create and market watches in the near future?
No, not at all. For sure, we are not going to be competing with Apple Watch. I mean, our job, if anything, we are specializing in very, very thin watches. We are specializing in skeleton. In the skeleton, you take a movement, and you take as much of the movement as you can. So I think, their program is very different than ours.
So do you ever think about the millennial customer, the customer who's grown up with all these electronics and technology, and how to make them a Piaget customer?
Definitely, but I think they are. When we look at the profile of our customers worldwide, the truth is, when I started in the business, customer for luxury would be 50 to 65. That would be the core market. Today, when you look at the market, it's 30 to 45, and it's getting younger. My feeling, we are catering to, if you want, the anti-technology consumers. I think, we are surrounded by technology, and I think people today are looking at a watch like a Piaget watch very much as a piece of jewelry, a piece of art, something that you have a very emotional link. And the world has changed. On my father's generation, maybe they had 1 or 2 watches. In my generation, probably 4 or 5. And my kids' generation will be multi-owners. So my feeling is, yes, you will have an Apple Watch, and probably I will buy an Apple Watch myself. But when it comes to have a much more dressy, a much more status symbol watch, I think luxury watch will continue to progress, I think, very well.
I think you're right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Philippe Léopold-Metzger, for that.